December 30th, 2000. The Miyazawa family is your perfect average family. The father, Mikio, is 44. His wife, Yasuko, is 41. Their daughter and son, Nina and Ray, were 8 and 6. Because it was December 30th, they were getting ready and excited to celebrate New Year's Eve with their family the following day. Unfortunately, though, the Miyazawa family would not make it to the year 2001. You see, the Miyazawas lived in a really normal suburb area, a quiet community. Just on the other side of the fence, out of their backyard, was the community park. So during the day, the kids would hop the fence and play there. People would walk their dogs. The parents would all hang out and talk. For all intents and purposes, it seemed like the ideal place that you'd want to live. A perfect place to raise a family. And when it came to families, the Miyazawas were the nicest, most thoughtful people that you could think of. The kind of neighbors that would wave to you when you're getting in your car. Also the kind that would bring extra snacks to school functions. So that's why this next part is really tough to make sense of. At about 11:30 on December 30th, somebody that was uninvited decided that they would enter into the Miyazawa's home. Now this person, they didn't knock. They didn't use the front door. Instead, they hopped the fence from the park and they snuck in by jimmying open a back window in the bathroom. Now you can imagine, neighbors shortly after were reporting that they heard the screams of a man followed by a thump shortly thereafter. Mikio, being the father of the family, certainly went downstairs to go see what the noise was. He was greeted by an unknown intruder on his stairs. The stairs were covered in scenes of panic and fighting, and it was really just a mess. There was blood everywhere, things were knocked over, scuff marks on the wall, on the banister, on the stairs, and lots of blood. Yasuko, the mother, and Nina, the daughter, they were found upstairs. It's likely that they heard the struggle that was happening with Mikio and the unknown intruder on the stairs, possibly let out a scream, and quickly became the next target. Mikio, unfortunately, he was killed using a sashimi knife. It was so forceful that the knife actually broke off inside of his body. And police would later find out that that knife had been purchased that very same day from a shop locally there in Tokyo. Yasuko and Nina, they were strangled, and the son Ray, it's assumed that he was smothered as he was found lifeless in his own bed. That's all very disturbing. But the weirder part is that the killer, for some reason, decided that he was going to stay in the house. He went down to the kitchen. He helped himself to ice cream out of the freezer. He made a cup of barley tea, snacked on some of the fruit and melon and different snacks that they had. The intruder even used the bathroom, and investigators know this because they failed to flush. DNA was literally everywhere. Blood spots, blood smears. He went into their medicine cupboard to patch up some of his wounds. He took a nap on the couch. He even went on their computer, browsed through some websites, looked at some files, and even attempted to order tickets, perhaps to a concert. The next day, the Miyazawas had plans with their family. When Yasuko was not returning her calls, her mother went over to see what was going on. She had a spare key ready to use, but it turns out she wouldn't need it after all. The front door was left slightly ajar, and when she opened the door, the quiet told her that the worst had already come. Authorities were called, they came to investigate, and in total they collected 12,000 pieces of evidence. There's a number of theories circulating on what might have happened to the Miyazawas. Why would someone do this? Was it a drifter? Maybe someone who was between houses and chose the Miyazawas at random? Possibly, but it almost seemed a little too personal when you start to look at the injuries on Mikio. Perhaps it was an angry or jealous colleague. Investigators did find sand embedded in a fabric, and the sand pointed back to a local US air base. So is it possible this person was part of the military, or maybe at least an associate? The truth is, nobody really knows. There's no clear motive, and despite all the evidence in the DNA, investigators could not locate a suspect. What haunts people the most about this is the lingering. Why stay after you've committed such atrocities? The home did not feel haunted because of the spirits, but it was haunted because someone moved through it with a terrible calm, doing terrible things. I just want to say, if you made it this far in the video, you better hit that like button and subscribe. Just kidding. Please, though. It's very much appreciated. Don't forget to hit the notification bell because we do upload 2 videos every single week.